Hey tribe, welcome into your weekly angel and ancestor message. I thank you so much for tuning in here to Cusp of Roses. My name is Gabrielle. If you're new here, welcome in. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back, my loves. And special shout out to all my channel members tuning into this message early and ad-free. I love you all so very much, and I thank you for your love and support. It truly means the world to me. If you want to become a member of this channel and have exclusive viewer perks and so much more, you can hit that join button next to subscribe beneath this video if you see it, or you can click the link in my description box below. It'll take you to the same page where you can overview my membership tier, see what's offered, and join wherever you feel comfortable. I would love to have you on the more intimate side of this channel, but in the meantime, so tribe, let's talk about the next 7 days from whenever you see this reading, okay? Okay. For some, next 7 days might bring about an unexpected ending, okay? And it feels like a connection, a friendship, an associateship, something might come to an end, okay? And if it does, please understand and know it is because something new is ready to begin. And something about that connection was not allowing some sort of either, I was getting one word and then a set of words. It's either disrupting some form of integrity around you, okay, which can lead you to being connected to some sort of karma that you're not meant to endure, okay, or it's disrupting the sacredness of a space, of your energetic space, your auric space, your mental space, your emotional space, spiritual space, space in general, okay? And so it's coming to an end, and I'm hearing the word parasitic, okay? So something about this energy or whatever this connection was could have been siphoning energy from you, again, disrupting the sacredness of a space. That's what was coming to me in my meditation for this message, okay? Whatever that disruptor is or was, yeah, it's going to end over the next 7 days if it hasn't already by the time you see this. Okay, so this could just be confirmation or clarity around why that ending happened. There is something new that's trying to begin, okay? And whatever that new beginning is for you couldn't happen with that particular connection or energy. I almost wanted to say entity around you. Okay? Some of you guys might feel really charged to create or carve out sacred space for yourself. Some of you need to remember that you in and of yourself are a sacred space. So this could be drawing you into your inner world. Some of you might feel like you need to hermit, go within for the next 7 days. Some of you might need to start a 7-day fast. Now, I'm no doctor, okay? So please make sure you check in with the professionals around that, especially around your own personal health. But I was hearing that. I know that's not a Daniel fast, but maybe somebody might be participating in a Daniel fast or a 7-day fast of something. Okay, fast doesn't necessarily always mean food. Okay, it just means going without something. That could be going without TV, that could be going without social media, sacrificing some sort of vice that you might have, some sort of habit that has been a part of your day-to-day. You might need to take a 7-day hiatus, a 7-day break from something so that something can be sanctified again, or you can reclaim some sort of sacred energy that you might have lost or that someone was trying to, again, disrupt in you. Okay? So that's what I was getting. But let's see what angels and ancestors want us to know about that sacred disruption. Tell me a little bit more about the integrity of the sacred space or claiming that sacred space here. Thank you. Yeah, relief and repair. I can't make it up. That's why. That's exactly why. Okay, and revelation. Okay, so some of y'all might be called to do some sort of 7-day detox of some sort. Okay, and that is because your angels and ancestors are trying to bring in some sort of revelation that could be attached to whatever that newness is from whatever has ended. And something in your energy needs relief and repair to re-sanctify something. Okay. Some of y'all need to do like an energetic cleanse. Maybe by way of frequency. I do have healing frequencies playlist curated for you guys on my homepage or in my playlist tab if you want to search it, if you want to start there. If you already have the ways you like to cleanse your energy, go ahead and do so. You can also buy my own personal aura cleansing spray. That's on my website, cusproses.store. Okay, you check that out. Sometimes you watch my videos and you see me glowing. It's because I probably used that heavily that day. Okay, so check that out. I would appreciate that love and support. Shout out to everybody who's already grabbed themselves some. Yeah, and you got individuality. Okay. Okay. It's important for somebody here to reclaim their sense of self. I'm almost here to reclaim their identity from something or from someone. Somebody might have got a little lost in the sauce here, or someone might not really understand that they're not holding proper boundaries. Okay. Maybe that's what this ending is. Some of y'all might be guided to set a boundary with somebody. And as soon as you do, you feel that relief and repair in your energy. So you'll know that was the right thing to do. Yeah, it's like if you take a break from talking to somebody or being around someone or, you know, being in a certain environment or going to a certain space and all of a sudden you feel different. That's what we're talking about here. Something about that is significant and relevant. Maybe you just need a change in environment. I can't make it up. Sacred ecosystem. Yeah. Something in the ecosystem is off. It needs relief and it needs repair. Some of y'all maybe need to find yourself in some sort of solitude so that this revelation can come through. Revelation around maybe even just the individual. It could be a singular person. I also feel like collectively it is going to become more important for us to build a sacred ecosystem around ourselves, getting certain systems in place around you that feed your sacred energy, protect your sacred energy, okay? So a lot of us could be in our sacral chakra, your second chakra. Okay, it's 2 inches below your belly button if you need to place it on your body. Something creative is trying to happen for somebody, but they can't fully express it because the ecosystem around them needs relief and repair. Okay. Tell me a little bit more. Crossroad of destiny, meaningful sacrifice. Okay. Right. Crossroad of destiny. That feels like that newness. Something is trying to unfold that is destined for you. For whoever's resonating with this. But you're going to have to make a sacrifice of some sort. Like I said, some sort of 7-day detox, needing to recalibrate, repair, replenish, nourish yourself in some sort of way. That could just be a change of scenery, a change of environment for a little moment. Maybe somebody needs a vacation here. But whatever that, it feels very specific to a 7-day thing, okay? Whatever that 7-day detox, 7-day fast is, it is going to bring about relief and repair to not only maybe your spiritual body, but maybe even your physical one. Again, I'm no doctor, so please fast and do all of that safely in accordance with what you need. Some of y'all, it's fasting from a thought. What if you went 7 days not thinking of the worst case scenario? What if you went 7 days not worrying about how something's going to work out? What if you just blocked it out of your mind for a second? Okay, some of y'all got to detox from fear and worry and doubt. Easier said than done, 100%, but it's a meaningful sacrifice. The World and the 9 of Wands just slipped out the deck. God, the source of wisdom, and God, the impenetrable secret. Right. Sacred energy. Something that you need to know or be aware of is trying to come towards you. Fountain of wisdom, gives success in all ventures, universal medicine, elevation of the soul, and revelation of mysteries. Something is trying to be revealed to you. And it's almost like whatever you need to make a meaningful sacrifice around is what's keeping this mystery, this knowledge from being revealed to you, this awareness, this revelation from coming in. Okay. All right. Tell me about relief and repair. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Right. This is what I mean. It felt like that. Some of y'all, this is a way of thinking that you need to detox from or fast from. Okay. Some of y'all are caught in like an anxiety loop when it comes to next steps, what's happening in the world right now, whatever that might be. No amount of worry, no amount of fear, no amount of franticness, okay, is going to solve the issue, solve the problem, make anything make sense. Some of y'all got to regulate your nervous system a little bit over the next 7 days. Okay. You want me to put that back? Yeah, I can't make it up. The Hermit. Word of God creating all. Alchemy, transformation, rules of natural events. Helps with spiritual progress. That's exactly what's trying to happen for you right now. Spiritual progress. But in order to do so, you have to create a sacred ecosystem for yourself so that when you're at that crossroad of destiny, you know where you're going. You know what road to choose. But it seems like whatever is in the energy, whether that again is a thought form, an idea, a belief, a person, a practice, a ritual, whatever it might be, has to end so that you can align with your road of destiny. Okay, so this feels very important for somebody. Clarify, relief, and repair here, Divine. Thank you. The Empress. Okay. Okay. Some of y'all have been pouring out too much and not pouring into yourself. 5 of Cups with the Tower. Exactly. Everything you might have been, well, I don't want to say everything, but some things you've maybe been pouring yourself into keep pouring themselves out. So there's a leak in someone's energy here, a hole or gap in someone's aura. Okay. The fire of God here with the Tower. Disruption. Exactly. Warns of disasters, aids in transformation. Yeah, some of y'all are being delivered from an energetic bond that's been tainting your sacred space. Okay, the 5 of Cups is what wanted to come out. And so the revelation is whatever those 3 cups are that spilt out, it was meant. Okay, you got the Star and the Queen of Wands. The hidden God with the Queen of Wands and God the just with the Star. Divine power guards against mental troubles. Yeah, this could be a mindset, a belief. So it feels like your angels and ancestors are calling you to kind of solidify a new way of thinking here. It's almost like, what if you told yourself everything is going to be okay, everything is already worked out for the next 7 days, and not allowed any other thought but that? Anytime your brain wants to go to the, well, what if and what if, which is what it's built to do, keep that in mind. It's a facet of the ego. It's what keeps us alive. But there's sometimes when the ego has to shed, the ego has to transform. Some of y'all are going through that. Okay? So that you can rise into some sort of star energy, some sort of equilibrium, some sort of divine power. Definitely your own sovereign energy, individuality. Clarify. What's individuality here? The Sun in reverse on the 5 of Cups. Yeah. Restoration of life, protection from adversaries. And that's what I think this is. There is some sort of energy that could be attempting to work against you. Has been working against you, which is why you can't create a sacred ecosystem around yourself. Yeah, something or someone has to go. They gotta go. Devil, it's that devil energy, exactly. Which can represent, again, conditioned beliefs that keep you bound, limited, okay, dependent. Okay. Clarify individuality here, Divine. Okay, King of Wands in reverse, Page of Wands upright. Eloquence gives answers to those in doubt. Yeah, I almost feel like some of y'all might be challenged with having to think for yourself in some sort of way. Maybe that's the over leaking of the energy. You might be considering too many opinions, too many thoughts of others, and it's time to define your voice. I feel like we touched on that last week. It's time to define your voice. Okay? King of Wands upright is a true leader. You can't lead. Okay, at some point in leadership, so I guess I'm talking to somebody here who might be called into leadership, already in a leadership role, might be a leader of industry, a leader in some way, leader of your home, leader of your family, leader of a community. Take it as it resonates, okay? But at some point, the leader has to make a choice and decision. And if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, nothing's getting made. So then nobody's eating. Do you see what I'm saying? There's some sort of streamline that somebody has to do, and or rebuilding some sort of belief in the self, faith in the self, trust in the self. Because if you're being called to leadership, there's something about you specifically that's meant for that role, or meant to lead whatever you're being called to lead. So it's almost like, take the peanut gallery with a grain of salt. It's not wrong to listen to other people's ideas, but at the end of the day, you have to make choices and decisions based off where you want to be. This could also be the revelation that you can't bring certain people with you. And that's hard. That's hard to let go of relationships, connections, people, places, things, ideas, thoughts that you've been comfortable with, so that you can leave some room and leave some space for new revelation that is needed and necessary for whatever it is you're meant to lead. So this is about stepping into a leadership role in your own world and in your own life. Okay, tell me a little bit more about this sacred ecosystem, Divine. Thank you. The 4 of Wands, right. God the Savior, helps one live in peace with everyone. Yeah. And maybe that's kind of what could be a little difficult and a little challenging. You might be trying to keep the peace with either people who are not invested in that with you, or to a certain extent that's becoming a detriment to you, that's becoming a bondage thing, a block, something that's holding you back. Sometimes disturbing the peace is the most peaceful thing that you can do. Sometimes not being overly concerned with, again, what feathers you might ruffle, who might be upset, who might be disappointed. Yeah, trying to please everybody is definitely the enemy of some sort of progress that you're trying to make, or somebody's trying to usher you into. Now, that could be a generational thing for somebody. It could be a natural habit, again, a conditioned way of being that you're ready to end, or you're ready to part ways with here. Crossroads of destiny. So you either maintain the conditioning, or you recondition yourself, relief and repair. Yeah. Devil energy. Again, the Hermit, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. Right back out here. The answer that you're looking for can only be found within. For whoever this is, whoever y'all are, you got to go within to hear yourself. And maybe that's the key of all of this. Maybe some of y'all have to grow your discernment around what's your voice and what's the voice of others. There could be so many different voices that you're maintaining reverence for in your own mind and your own energy, but it's overcrowding your voice. You can't make everybody happy, can't please everyone. And that really shouldn't be the goal with whatever this is. Yeah, it's a part of that divine rebel energy we were talking about, I think, last week. Okay. Can I get one for the crossroad of destiny? Thank you. Temperance, exactly. The god of joy. Here's why a leader is a leader. A leader is also, with the King of Wands in reverse, this is also about being a visionary. Sometimes you're given the vision and no one else is. And you can sit there and you can try to explain the vision. No, it's going to be like this. And no, we got to make it like this. And no, I got to do this. And got to, I'm seeing it. At some point, you just have to move in the direction of the vision and allow people to catch up with it later. So making this choice and decision to maybe end something, go in a different direction, do your own thing, follow your own guidance. It might upset some people, but at the end of the day, with the Temperance and the crossroads of destiny, once this works out in your favor, because I do see that happening, I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune in my mind's eye. Once it works out in your favor, those who were against it, or those who didn't think it was the right choice or the right thing to do, will come around to the understanding of why you had to do it. So then there's that reconciliation. There's that deeper understanding. I couldn't see. Yeah, some people can't see the vision until you make it a reality. And some of y'all might be wasting energy trying to get people to see the vision that the divine has given you, that your angels and ancestors gave you to see through. Sometimes people are going to have to be late to the party. And that's okay. Trying to get everybody there on time, It's distracting you from what you need to do. And that's a common pattern. Somebody does something outside of the box, does something based off their own drum, whatever the case may be. It's looked at as strange, it looks at it odd and weird, and then next thing you know, it's everybody's doing it. Now it's cool. And I'm only using that as a very generic example, okay? It's a meaningful sacrifice, whatever this detox that you're being called to do. Some of y'all, it's that conditioning of like, honor your elders. And I'm not saying that that isn't a beautiful thing to do or a needed and necessary thing to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you also have to be mindful that age has nothing to do with wisdom. Unfortunately, you would think those two things correlate. They don't at all. You got a lot of old fools running around. A lot of old fools. So just because someone is older than you, has lived longer than you, does not mean that they've gained any wisdom more than you have. Sometimes you might be the wisest one in the room, but you're the youngest one in the room. And people might not want to listen to you because of that. Might not even trust that you have vision. You ain't even old enough to have vision yet. Like, what you mean? Huh? That's how you know you're dealing with a fool. Because a wise man would understand that there's wisdom and experiences that they maybe haven't had. Yeah, I feel like for some of y'all, this could be in the workspace. So take that as that resonates. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave that there because I feel like I could say more about that, but it might not be time to. Tell me about meaningful sacrifice here for my soul tribe in this energy. Oh, Ascended Master Jesus. Yeah, meaningful sacrifice. Goddess Hecate. Seven of Pentacles. Discernment, exactly. General prosperity and the deliverance of prisoners. Some of y'all might have to reassess and reevaluate who you deem wise enough to guide you. Okay? Some of y'all are considering guidance from old fools. Again, just because they're older does not mean they're wise. And you have to be able to discern that. And that's a skill set that grows the more you work on it, the more you practice, the more you pay attention. Somebody has to pay attention. I'm a big fan of this. You have to consider the source when somebody's telling you anything. Have to consider the source. Does this person live a life that I admire? Does this person make good choices? Has this person proved that they are wise? That they can make sound decisions? That they have some sort of vision? Or are they just talking to talk? And keep in mind too, some people can only give advice from their vision, from their point of view. They can't put themselves in your shoes and consider what you specifically as an individual, from your point of view, from where you're being directed, should do for you. That's another gift, another skill, and another talent not everybody has. Most people are just giving you advice based off of their mistakes, which is great. And again, take it with a grain of salt. Because what didn't work for them might work for you. What doesn't work for you might have worked for them. That's where discernment has to come in. That's where that sense of self-governance, sovereignty, and leadership comes in. Don't disregard your intuition around your path, whatever this crossroads of destiny. Don't disregard your own intuition and your own voice. And some of y'all have to throw away old voices so that you can actually hear yourself. Okay? Some of y'all are holding on to reverence for, again, people who might not deserve it in a way. Like, I want to be delicate when I say that, because I'm not telling you to be disrespectful and, nobody knows anything. And no, of course, you can glean wisdom from anything. But again, you have to consider the source. Especially when it comes to this crossroads of destiny. That's your path to walk. It might look scary to go down that untrodden path, that uncharted territory. But what if you're the one that actually has the skills and the vision to do it? And no one else around you does. So they're going to tell you, no, go the path where everybody else does. It's safer. You might have to do the risky thing. And like I said, it'll make sense in hindsight for some. I just was afraid and worried that, something would happen. Of course. Right. Don't allow other people's fear to govern you. Okay? Yeah, 8 of Wands. Because whatever is being given to you, whatever you're being guided to do right now, my soul tribe, it's your path. You're getting the signs and the synchronicities and the messages for a reason. And you might be looking to your left and looking to your right to see if anybody else is picking them up. That don't even matter. Are you picking up what your angels and ancestors are putting down? That's what matters. Okay, so maybe this is a little bit of codependency that's trying to break off of you here. Okay. Clarify the Empress and the 5 of Cups. Exactly. Exactly. Once you do this detox or this step away or this break away from whatever this energy, again, thought, consideration that you might be giving, and you start to feel that sense of relief, that's how you know you were tied to something that was holding you back or a little toxic for you. Clarify the 5 of Cups with the King of Wands in reverse. The 4 of Cups. God deflecting evil. Yeah, healing capacity, protection from weapons, safety, and travel. Again, that devil energy, seduction and downfall. Exactly. Exactly. Following sometimes the path of the old fool leads to your downfall. And it almost feels like some of y'all are at a crossroads where you either trust yourself or you're going to trust everybody else. It's your choice to make. It's your choice to make. Okay, King of Wands in reverse with the 4 of Wands, Divine. Thank you. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. God, the teacher, intellectual talent, and provides knowledge, right? This is what I mean. There's some things that people can't teach you. There's some things, especially if you're called to some sort of leadership in your own world, in your own life, in your community, there's some things that you have to learn by firsthand experience. And this seems like one of those moments here. Okay, clarify the 4 of Wands with Temperance. Death. That's the transformation. God, the end of the universe. Endings and rebirth influences health and longevity. Exactly. There is some sort of I almost feel like this is a call from someone's intuition. Some of y'all, your angels and ancestors have been trying to talk to you. Trying to talk to you about whatever this siphoning thought, siphoning energy is. Some of y'all angels and ancestors have been trying to get you to trust yourself more. Because not all advice is good advice. Not all advice is good advice. Not every time that somebody wants to talk to you or share something with you has good intent. Sometimes people will want to tell you to do something because they want to see your downfall. They want to see you fail. They want to see you mess up. Or they don't want you to believe that you can be successful or succeed at something because they're too afraid to believe in that for themselves, or they tried and it didn't work. There's no point in doing that. I failed at it. Well, that's you. With all due respect, that's you. That doesn't mean that that door won't open or it won't be successful for whoever's being called to it. So, okay, yeah, this is a death. This is definitely a death. This is a death to that devil energy. Whatever the seduction is, the vice is. Right, like it might be very seductive to think that, oh, listening to, you know, your OGs or your old heads about this and that, yeah, you know, because they know. And it's like, yeah, maybe to some degree they have some wisdom. But again, you have to consider the source. Have they charted, gone down any sort of path, had any connection to what you're trying to do in your world? Okay. Yes or no? No. Then seek out the advice and the guidance of people who have. And if you don't have access to anybody who has, then yeah, you're absolutely meant to pull out that machete and start chopping down trees and vines and creating the path yourself. Don't be afraid to do that. Yeah, I feel that. It's more comforting when you travel the path that's been traveled before, or, you know, you do the thing that everyone's telling you to do that feels safer, but sometimes it's your downfall. And it almost feels like your angels and ancestors are trying to get you to avoid that downfall. Something might seem easier, but sometimes doing the hard thing is the best thing for you. So some of y'all are also learning discipline. Spiritually, I feel. Okay. Show me temperance with the 7 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Something's also flipped out here. And the 2 of Pentacles. God sustaining everything, fortune, fame, and fulfills any request. Spiritual communication, influences, religious men, teachers, and men of law. This is what I mean. You have to be mindful of the influence of others that you're carrying. And a lot of this could be subconscious. You're doing it because a pastor or a preacher or a priest or someone you look up to said that that's the thing to do, when that might not even be right for you. So you're trying to uphold yourself to this energy that you're not even meant to connect with or carry. I'm hearing the word trailblazer. So yeah, some of y'all are really meant to venture away or kind of branch off of something. It just feels like carving your own path. Clarify temperance with the 7 of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands. Yeah. God the good in himself. Protection prevents discovery of secret crimes. Saves exiles. And the 9 of Wands. Universal medicine, elevation of the soul, and revelations of mysteries. This is about the elevation of your soul. Your soul can't elevate if it's still bound by the thoughts and beliefs, fears, perspectives of others. At some point, you have to own your own thoughts while you still can, because they're trying to make that illegal too. It's like thinking for yourself while it's still safe to do so. Yeah, this is like somebody trying to play, like follow the leader, but the leader don't know what they're doing. The leader is an old fool. Be careful with that. The leader's just seducing you to a downfall. Okay. Yeah, seer. See beyond the current situation. This is what I mean. It's a little deeper than the surface. Some of y'all respectfully have to make your own choices and decisions. Some of y'all have to stop running your choices and decisions and what you should do by other people. Okay? What's the guidance here, angels and ancestors? See beyond the current situation. That's where the revelation is. The revelation that you might not have been fully operating in your individuality individuality up to this point. Okay? And once you create that sacred ecosystem around you, you'll better discern your crossroads of destiny. And that's what I mean by meaningful sacrifice. If you have to sacrifice certain connections for a minute or take a step back from certain things for a minute, it's a meaningful sacrifice. And people will eventually see that. Some of y'all might even have that moment. Maybe you've already done this kind of detox, letting go of other people's thoughts and feelings and just trusting your own intuition, Knight of Wands. Following your own spiritual guidance, really like flexing out your intuition, growing the muscle that it is. And now you might be having conversations, reconciliations with people that you might have had to take a step back from, that says, okay, I get it now. I see why you felt this way. I see why you made that choice and decision. You had to do it for you. Exactly. This is something that you have to do for yourself. It's a risk involved here. It's a risk involved. But it's not an uncalculated risk. It's not a risk that I feel like isn't going to work out in your favor. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune again in my mind's eye. It's a risk worth taking. Okay? So what's the guidance then here, Divine? Be open to healing information. I can't make it up. And the thing is, the healing information is going to come from within you. That revelation is trying to come through your angels and your ancestors. It's almost like this is some sort of medicine the divine is trying to bring you to give you relief and repair in your ecosystem so that you can be open to receive the revelation that you need around what you need to sacrifice. Because at this moment, whether you're aware of it or not, my soul tribe, you're at a crossroads of destiny. Choices and decisions that you make right now in this energy, wherever this is finding you, is going to shape your future. And that's always the case, but it feels a little bit more impactful. What else? I can't make it up. The Hermit. Again. Retreat and recharge. Some of y'all got to hear your own voice again. It's too crowded in your mind. It's too crowded in your energy. Again, you got to carve out some sacred space. Exchange energy to create abundance. Clarify the Hermit with the Medicine Guardian. Trust your intuition, right? Trust your instincts. You might have a particular animal showing up for you. It could be like a bird you keep seeing. Some sort of symbolism. It doesn't necessarily have to be a real live animal. If that's the case, that could only be for a select few of y'all. Look into the spiritual meaning of that animal. Because it could confirm the instincts that you already have. Again, what your higher self is trying to tell you or guide you towards. Tell me about trusting in instincts. Thank you. Warrior, yeah, be fearless and stand strong. Exactly. Not everybody has a warrior spirit. Not everybody is brave enough to take charge with authority. Not everyone is brave enough to do the uncommon thing. But some of y'all have that warrior spirit. King of Wands in reverse, though. It's like you have to tap into that, though. Again, don't let the fears of others be your own or rule you. If you're not afraid to go chart that territory out, but everybody else around you is, it just means that those people are not meant to walk down that path with you right now. But that shouldn't stop you from carving out that path. Okay, that's that leadership. Be fearless and stand strong. Tell me a little bit more about this warrior. Okay. This wants to keep coming out. Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Doesn't really feel an alignment in truth. Why? Why does this keep coming out, Divine? What's the exchange of energy to create abundance, trader? That could be who has to come out. There could be a traitor, someone betraying you. Maybe that's why I take time to reflect. Exactly. That's also that 5 of Cups energy. Trust in higher forces with the shaman. Okay, maybe this is more of a life review that some of y'all might be guided to do here soon. Who in your world, who are you connected to that exchange of energy isn't necessarily creating abundance? It's creating lack or holes and gaps, or it's draining. The 5 of Cups. Some of y'all are going to have to take a moment to reflect on who that might be, what that might be. Be mindful of the agreements that you make with people. I can't make it up. Choose your path. Direction guardian. Some of y'all are meant to, again, trust in the higher forces, the shaman. Some of your ancestors could have been shamans. It's like they're trying to guide you through some sort of healing that has to happen, some sort of relief and repair, trying to bring you some sort of medicine that you need to help you detox from that devil energy, which is truly just fear and illusion. Choosing your path in life here, my soul tribe, might mean you have to end certain habits, certain patterns, certain connections, relationships, dynamics, but it is for your greater good. It's a need to take time and reflect, is this actually increasing my energy or is it draining me? Having to maintain all these rules, or, you know, someone told me this, and so I want to make sure I honor their wisdom and honor that. You're trying to honor all these different wisdoms that might not even be based in experience. Again, just because someone is older does not make them wiser. Those two do not correlate at all. Okay? So as much as you want to respect your elders, as much as you want to revere them, absolutely, there does come a point where you have to be your own individual and do something that they might not think you need to do or should do, but inevitably is going to work out for you because it is your path. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if this resonates whenever it does with y'all. I thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure, again, you check out the memberships here on the channel if you want those exclusive viewer perks and access to so much more. If you want your own angel and ancestor message, you want to see what specific guidance there is for you and the angelic realm, you can book that reading with me at cuspofroses.store. It'll be linked down below in the description box. And I really do hope that this serves you well. For whoever needed to hear that, it's time for you to lead your life. And lead your life in a way only you could. This is about building your relationship with your intuition, with your higher force, and seeing where that takes you. Because it's going to take you to some really beautiful and abundant places if you will let it. Alrighty, my loves. I'll catch y'all next week. Namaste.